Well, well. Looks like we know who's gonna be on Space Jam 3. Welcome. It ain't gonna be Ben. Welcome to Philly Uncensored Sports Podcast. Oh man, catch us on YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, and what is one more? Instagram, right? I think something like that.
YouTube, Twitter, Spotify.
YouTube, Twitter. There we go. YouTube, Twitter, Spotify, and Facebook. Listen, we here after a disappointing. Yeah, iTunes too. That's right. Thank you. After disappointing smackdown from the Pelicans, Sixers got dealt with. We got dealt with every facet of the game. Nobody really played well. I mean, it's a couple people who played okay, but the people that needed to play well didn't play well, especially Joel Embiid. The boy Adams was in his pockets. He played some of the best defense I've seen on Joel since the boy from Toronto. What's his name? Gasol, who now over in LA. But Seth Curry, I mean, before y'all get your comments, I have to do this because I campaign for him. So it's almost like when your child get in trouble, like you would rather beat your child than anybody else. So I'm gonna have to discipline Steph because I campaign for this dude. I beg the Sixers to trade for him, to sign him, and now that he's here, I'm not going to say he's a complete disappointment, but this ain't what I envisioned him being. Keep in mind, he led the league in 3-point field goal percentage last year. And that was one of my main go-to arguments as to why he would be so impactful on his team, especially with Joel Embiid drawing a double team, with Ben doing what he normally do, driving and kicking out. That will open. Even though I hate how Ben does that all the time, it still will open up shots for Seth. And obviously, B will open up shots for Seth. And this dude was 0 for 7 tonight in 26 minutes. I'm thoroughly disappointed. Y'all comments, please.
Yeah, I honestly, it was a horrible team play. Tobias was off early on, but he finished up strong. But when I look down to it, when we talk about stars, Ben Simmons supposed to be a star. I mean, first, even with everything else he did, you cannot consistently miss foul shots. If this is the style of play that you're going to play, you cannot miss foul shots.
44%.
And the other thing is Embiid. Honestly, even when I look at it, we lost by what, 7? Embiid, how much did Embiid underscore with it? He scored half the points he's averaging for the season. If Embiid even gets 20 points, is a tight game. It's a 1-point game. So. I mean, it just was a horrible game. Like you said, Seth Curry, we play horrible. The Pelicans came out, I guess, after they just got trounced by by Brooklyn. They like, no, we ain't going out like that. They came home and they smacked the Sixers around. No excuse for nothing. They smacked the Sixers around.
Now, I got to say, I don't like how you do a little jab at Toby in there. Toby started off, then he came around.
He started off 1 for 7. He started off 1 for 7.
You'll have your ups and downs in a game, though. That's why you play the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
If Toby would have had some type of help, Toby's the last person I'm going to even throw a jab at. If Toby would have had some type of help in that game from anybody, I don't care who it was, it would have been a better game. Just give Toby help. Toby's the only one who I could say this whole year he's come to play pretty much every
That's not
game.
true. That's not true.
The last couple of games.
Because Tobias messed up on a whole lot of back-to-back. Remember, we was talking about back-to-backs. Tobias came up small on back-to-backs. So I'm not blaming Tobias for this game, but you do realize they was featuring Toby early and going to him early, and he was 1 for 7.
But hold on, because if B's getting this is the problem with this team right now. If B's getting locked up and Toby's struggling a little bit, you have nothing else.
You got Seth.
You have nothing else.
You got Danny.
See, y'all go all around the third best player on the team. This is my point. But you want to slight jab Toby.
We Toby got Ben.
Listen. I already said you said
before y'all jump. Hey Wayne, before y'all jump, let's everybody go around first. All
right, you're right, but let me just mention Ben had 5 steals. Okay. So go ahead.
But let me ask.
No, go ahead, Tim. You said go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead.
At the
Can
half,
I finish my tirade?
I can't finish my tirade. 50-50. They scored.
It wasn't done yet.
Yeah, I wasn't done my tirade.
Tobias have a struggle with shooting.
Did he just keep talking?
Yeah, he kept talking.
What y'all doing?
Ethan said he didn't finish his tirade, and you just kept talking.
Go ahead. You got the floor.
No, just go ahead.
Nope.
One of y'all fools go ahead and go before I go, because I got a lot to say.
Yeah, because I'll go too. Because like I said, I'm not giving anybody.
All right, let me say this. Another thing that thoroughly disappointed me was the defense that we played on Zion Williamson. Can anybody just stand in front of the guy and just all you had to do was try to keep him from going to the lane, and you had your rim protector. We got this great defense, this defensive player of the year guy. They couldn't do nothing with Zion, and he shot basically all layups.
That's because at this point, Embiid is not Embiid as defensively.
So you blaming Embiid? Hold on.
Remember,
so
you've been talking about being a rim protector, and that's what he's been such a great rim protector and stopping everybody. That's why everybody looks so good. Well, everybody looked bad today because Embiid didn't step up at all.
No, it's because Embiid was in foul trouble.
One play, Embiid stepped up and blocked the shot. Outside of that, he was letting everybody get around. And so everybody, man, when they did get beat, they was laying up the ball at will.
They got beat every time.
So it was because of Embiid. There was no shot blocker. There was no Dikembe behind them.
So go ahead. What else are you saying, Tim? You said we was what now? You start naming some stats.
Oh yeah, it's Seth Curry. Seth Curry is 0 at the half. He was 0 for 4.
He stinks.
Joel Embiid, he was 4 for 10, shooting 40% at the half. Tobias Harris was 3 for 11 at the half. Everybody stunk it up, but we still had the ball game tied 50-50. But I'm saying we should have been blowing that team out at that particular time. We should at least been up. Ben Simmons, he missed about 8 or 9 free throws. Those are free shots. Getting to the lane and and just passing the ball instead of just shooting the ball, not throwing those stupid jump hooks. The reason why we lost the game because instead of being 50-50, it should have been 65-50.
Yes, I agree. And Ben Simmons is, I mean, forget Ben Simmons. He trash offensively anyway. So I'm not even going to address that because that's like literally beating a dead horse because this has been going on since he came onto the team. So we already know what Ben is. Ben will consistently be what Ben is. It's very disappointing. But we have to focus on who can at least get better. Seth, to me, I'm so befuddled.
He missed the layup.
Yeah, like this exactly. This is what I'm saying. I'm so befuddled by Seth because one game he'll show you a flash of brilliance where he'll score 21 and go 6 for 11 from 3 or something like that, and then he'll do a game like this. Like, where does this come from? I'm so perplexed by his up and down swings. It's almost worse than Danny Green. Danny Green
it is worse.
It really is because Danny. I give Danny credit.
Danny's actually been kind of consistent. Everybody keeps saying Danny Green hit and miss. This season for the Sixers, he hasn't.
I'm just talking about early on. Remember early on, Danny was hit and miss. Remember the game when the Bull called him out? When
he was like 0 for 10?
Exactly.
One game. Yeah.
No, a couple games in there, Danny was playing like trash. But Danny got it together. He has been balling even since the All-Star break. I think he may have had one kind of bad game since the All-Star break.
Since the All-Star break, I think he's shooting like 50% from threes.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Even tonight, he was 50%. He's 3 for 6. So he's doing what Danny's supposed to do. So and he's playing defense. He tried to help us. He got the steal on Zion when we was kind of coming back in the fourth quarter, but it looked like we was maybe going to do something. And then, if I'm not mistaken, after he gets the steal from Zion, Ben goes to the hole and throws up the garbagest looking hook shot layup I've ever seen in my life.
Absolutely.
Did it hit the rim?
No, it didn't even hit the rim.
That's what I thought.
That's the part that kills me about Ben is he goes to the paint and it's like he's looking for the foul. For what? You're not shooting free throws. Like you can't shoot free throws. So why are you going in there begging for foul calls? So,
exactly.
But honestly, when it comes down to it, when you look at the score of this game, the biggest difference was Embiid didn't deliver tonight. And we give Embiid all the props of being an MVP candidate, and Embiid is the anchor of the team, defensively, offensively. Because I mean, honestly, defensively, the Sixers, even with Zion killing them, the Sixers only gave up 101 points. Like that's actually still good defense.
Yeah,
but we're counting on Embiid to be that top level scorer, and he didn't even did he even crack 20? Like
look, is it true he had 2 points after half?
Yeah.
Do you think I seen they showed us a couple times him rubbing on his knee or the brace? You think that had anything to do with him? Because he wasn't. Listen, Steven Adams is a big guy. So banging him all night.
It might have.
Embiid the type of person though, from watching Embiid, if he got like big guys stronger than him, Embiid really don't want to do all that. He don't want to go down there and bang with him all night. So you see, he settled for the jumper more than he should have. So maybe he just ain't want to go in the weight room tonight.
B had 14 points.
Yeah, 2 after half.
This is probably
You said at the half or after the half?
After half.
Yeah. I mean, he shot 5 for 16. He shot 31%. Your MVP, and it's not many games we do this. It's not, and this is what I'm saying. It's not many games. You'll very rarely hear me say this, but this falls squarely on him. Not just only on Embiid, but mostly on Embiid, because he's supposed to be your star player that brings it home. The same way Zion stepped up as their star player, Zion stepped up to the moment. He was a problem for anybody in front of him and everything. He did whatever he wanted to do tonight. Embiid should have enforced his will.
But at the same time, don't act like the Pelicans didn't come in losers of 4 their last 5 games. They didn't come in as a hot team. We just court them. They just got smoked by New Jersey 2 nights ago. What happened was, so this was all about the play of our players, really. It wasn't, I don't even, in a 7-game series, I see us beating them every time.
Why? We ain't got to worry about 7-game series.
That's what I'm just saying. If we were playing in the 7-game series, I see us beating us. This was more so of everybody on our team played very bad. And even Korkmaz, when he came in, I was taking notes.
Korkmaz didn't play that bad.
Korkmaz shot 4 for 9, 4 for 8 from 3. Korkmaz is not the person to rip.
You got to look at when he first came in the game.
How are you picking him out of everybody?
First of all, my first time I went around, I talked about Ben and I talked about Embiid. The second time I'm going around, then I talked about Tobias Harris. This time,
what point of the game are you talking about? What point of the game are you talking about when Korkmaz came in?
Well, Korkmaz, the first time he came in, which was the end of the first quarter, the beginning of the second quarter. Right. He started the game where he got his shot blocked. The next possession, he missed a 3. The third possession, he pulled up for a 2 and clanked it. Those are the 3. So then all of a sudden, he hit a couple. Then, because here's my notes. Then he comes in and he makes a couple 3s. But again, I reference him. He's like a pimp.
You really
smack you around and then give you something. Then he wipe your face and like, okay, you okay, honey? And make sure
read your notes. Read your notes on Ben. What notes you got for Ben? So you specifically sit there and was hoping Korkmaz wasn't the problem tonight.
Korkmaz was a problem.
He was not. He shot 4 for 8 from 3.
You're looking at the stats. So I'm telling you, if you dig a hole and then you climb out the hole, you don't want to put me in a hole.
No, Korkmaz.
He put them in a hole.
Tonight, bro.
Like Ethan said, the game comes.
Okay, wait, real quick. Korkmaz was a -4. Thibault was a -15, and Milton was a -7. So you really gonna blame Korkmaz of all the people on the bench? We talking about Thibault. I mean, we talking about Milton in 20 minutes had 9 points. Korkmaz in 17 minutes had 12. So you really gonna come out at Korkmaz tonight? That's not the dude, bro.
It is just because it is more than one. You can blame more than one person.
You can.
Korkmaz is one of 12 that stunk it up tonight.
And Korkmaz is about number 9 on that list of 12.
I agree. Yeah, Korkmaz way down the totem pole, bro. And actually, Korkmaz gave his life. I don't know if it was late 3rd or early 4th. I can't remember.
It was.
He hit them 2 back-to-back threes.
That was playground basketball.
No, let me finish.
That was playground basketball.
He hit them 2 back-to-back threes and actually brought us within like 7. Then they brought the starters in to try to hopefully close the game out, and they couldn't do it. No. He hit 1 shot in the fourth quarter. That was only 2 points in the whole half, and they couldn't get no more. Ben
that was the Pelicans. That was the Pelicans like, okay, we're going to take the foot off the gas, and all of a sudden Korkmaz started hitting a couple shots, and then when they put the clans back on,
so why didn't Embiid and Ben Simmons hit since they took the foot off the gas? Why didn't Ben Simmons?
Because Ben Simmons don't drive. He just sitting there just floating. He don't. It's like there's nothing.
Tim, don't listen. Right now you're about 3 feet deep. And the more you talk, you're going further and further burying yourself.
My assessment is more accurate than y'all assessment.
Y'all trying to rabbit. The same way you said Ben Simmons was top 5 potential. You okay? Okay,
I was drinking. I
mean, look, I agree with either way, bro. You grab. First of all, for the simple fact that you took your good time to catalog
yes
my stats alone, let you know how bias based this whole argument is.
That's not true.
Right, I was on Cork missed.
I was taking notes. I was taking notes on everybody.
At 127, he entered the game, and at 129, like, nah, bro, like you doing too much. If you do that, that lets me know what you're trying to do.
Now y'all trying to say there's an agenda based, and what I'm saying is,
no, it definitely is agenda based.
It is. It is. Come on, man. But I mean,
I believe no, but the sad part is Zion Williamson actually beat us by himself tonight.
He did. That's what I'm saying. He did.
And that was sad to see, especially when we pride ourselves on defense, and I want to be the best defensive player in the league, and I want to win defensive player of the year. And you let this, they actually had to take Ben off of him because it was getting out of hand. They had to try everybody else. They threw at whoever they could on him and couldn't nobody. Do you know what the sad part is? Danny Green did the best on Zion than anybody else.
Because he stopped and he was smart.
They didn't have that. No, what happened was Zion.
So let me ask you this though, right?
There was no rim protector.
Because now either one tried to put it all on Ben Simmons, right?
Yeah.
But he's the same one that was talking about some Joel Embiid is the anchor. Joel Embiid stops it. So where was Joel Embiid because all Zion shots was coming at the rim?
Exactly.
So where was Joel?
No rim protection.
Exactly, and he was in foul trouble. And when you get in foul trouble,
he wasn't in foul trouble the first half.
He picked up 2 in the first quarter.
No, you sure about that? Did he?
Yes.
I know. Adams had 2 in the first quarter. I don't know if Embiid had 2 in the first quarter.
I can't remember if he did. Embiid did.
Yeah, I think Embiid wasn't in foul trouble until like later on in the game.
I can't remember. I'm not saying he wasn't. I don't remember.
Embiid was in foul trouble. Remember when Drew Bledsoe, I'm about to call this boy Drew Bledsoe. When Eric Bledsoe went in for the layup, Embiid ain't try to block it because he's in foul trouble. That was in the first half.
Mm-hmm. So we excuse Embiid because he was in foul trouble? Why was he in foul trouble?
No, it just shows you the importance of Embiid because y'all dudes like to big up all these great wing protectors. And I keep telling y'all, Embiid sets the tone. And when now y'all want to blame Embiid for everybody getting to the lane, but you have to stop your player from getting to the lane.
I'm not saying blame Embiid, but you're saying about that.
No, just blame Embiid.
Right. Well, actually, I'm blaming Embiid more for what I'm coming at you about is because you're trying to put it all on Ben because he couldn't stop Zion. We already said that Zion is a better player. I think we all agreed on that except for maybe Tim.
But is Ben a better defensive player?
No, I did.
Zion is a beast. Is
Ben a better defensive player than Zion?
Yes. But they're not playing. But we're not. Why are we comparing that deep? We talking about Zion's offense.
Because every time we talk about Ben, you bring up defense. Where was that defense tonight?
So it was only Ben Simmons that was getting cooked by Zion. Did they not?
Listen, he had to share the cooking.
But that's what I'm saying. But this is what we always talk about when a great pair. The same ways Tim is trying to hate on Korkmaz, she's trying to hate on Ben. I'm not absolving Ben to nothing. Because, like I said, if he's not doing, at least make the foul shots or something else. But you're not going to come on here now when you talk about Embiid is this great rim protector. And first of all, the Sixers didn't play bad defense on the team. They only gave up 101 points. But this one player went off, and that's what we know. The same way when we go against dudes and Embiid go off, sometimes that one dude, that superstar, goes off. Now they should. Our problem was we didn't score. Our problem was scoring tonight.
How in the world we get the number 1 draft pick at the wrong time?
I know. I would like to take. I agree with that. I would like to take this moment, not really to talk about how. I guess we already talked about how bad the Sixers played, but really to recognize who's next up. The next ambassador of the NBA is Zion Williamson. I think I'm very confidently saying that after you see Durant trail off and LeBron is gone and Curry is out the picture, I think Zion is next up. He will be starring in Space Jam 3.
I still say Luka.
Does he have to leave New Orleans?
Why?
If he can't take him to the championship, no. If they could build a solid team and they could make some championship runs, no. But if it's like Cleveland again with LeBron, then yeah, you're gonna have to leave. But if they can keep a solid nucleus around that team and they can start winning and pop off a championship or two in a couple years, He good. He'd be good.
I gotta tell you, he looked like to me. he looked like he's gonna be a stud, but he looked like he's one bad injury away from being Sean Kemp, like 300 pounds.
That is true.
I wouldn't even say a bad injury. I just say like a layoff.
But I mean, but I'm not going to anticipate somebody. I mean, Barkley was a little overweight when he was playing too, and Barkley played a long, illustrative career.
That had 6 turnovers too.
So
he did.
Barkley looked like Rip Hamilton compared to Zion Williamson. Like Zion is on another level. Like,
well, how tall is Zion? Because Barkley was only like 6'4".
He only like
he's not that
like
6'6",
6'5", 6'6" or something.
Yeah.
He's not even.
Zion gonna have a fat boy summer.
let me ask y'all: do y'all like Brandon Ingram's game?
You don't.
Do. I do.
I like Brandon Ingram. I think he's nice. He's still kind of young. I mean, he coming along. He's to me, he's gotten better for the most part every year. The only reason why that he's not leading the team now because Zion back. But he was leading the team and scoring. What was it last year, the year before? 1 year he had like 25 points a game or something.
You think he's better than it's been?
Offensively, yes. All around,
Ingram's averaging 24, almost 24 points a game this year.
I gotta tell you, I think I'm gonna take.
So,
as much as I hate Ben Simmons, I might take Ben Simmons over Brandon Ingram.
I wouldn't.
Just be Brandon Ingram. Something about his game I just don't like. He plays. He got an unorthodox game. He plays.
So what about Ben's game? Do you like?
Nothing.
Okay.
I don't like anything.
I mean, Ingram kind of like a lesser Durant. You know what I'm saying?
That's what it is to me too.
Nah, yeah. I don't know. I don't even. Their game's not similar at all.
What's the field goal percentage?
You don't think their game is similar? Their type of play is similar?
No,
their game is very similar.
Yeah, I'm about to say. I think their game
handles is similar. The way they pull up,
the way they shoot. Ingram's handle is all over the place. I don't like it.
They need to tighten up a little bit. KD don't have no. Have you really watched KD? KD don't got no crack handle. He don't dribble that much.
KD he don't need to
catch and shoot. But that's what we're saying.
Ingram don't dribble that much neither.
Yeah, he do. Did you watch the game?
Sometimes, I mean, he get a little dribble happy, but sometimes, for the most part, when he score, when I watch Ingram play, when he really is effective, he play more like KD. It's a quick dribble, crossover, pull up on somebody, or maybe go to the rack. It ain't a whole bunch of Kyrie and Steph Curry around.
See, but that team got some athletes though. They a long pause.
They play above. All of them play above the rim.
Yeah, they got some athletes.
We have
on that team.
Nobody to play it. Ephraim, question: what are the three? If I was to ask you, what are the 3 reasons why we lost the game? What would you say?
I would say Joel. I agree with Wayne. Is Joel first? Seth Curry 2, Joel, Seth, and Ben, because he had 6 turnovers. And like, I'm not even putting it on him because he didn't score, because I don't expect Ben to score. But I agree with Wayne. Free throws and turnovers, you can't, bro. You shot 44% free throws. When I think this year he got it up to at least around in the 50s or something, maybe 55 or something.
I think he might have been in the 60s this year till recently.
Yeah, so he might have at least been up there. So now you shoot 44% and you turn the ball over 6 times. You got to be third on the list.
Yep.
Ethan, you agree with that?
Oh, 100%.
See, mine would be. What about you, Wayne?
I agree. Everything Ephraim just said.
See, mine would be Curry.
Okay.
Joel Embiid.
I know where you're going.
I'm waiting for this in Korkmaz.
That's like me trying to come on here and say Mike Scott was the boy that we lost. Like, come on, bro. I mean, everything Ephraim. What'd you say?
Don't you hate on Mike Scott? He played a very good game today.
He went 2 for 4. Yeah, he was great.
He was silent. No, he wasn't no very good.
I mean, I'm not. No, I'm just saying the way Tim is trying to blame Korkmaz would be the equivalent of me blaming Mike Scott.
No, I know what you said. I'm talking about Ethan. He had a very good game.
Yeah,
he had no very good game.
I mean, honestly, it falls square. This is what I'm saying. The same way, you know how when we talk about quarterbacks, right? And we talk about when the team win, oh, he led them to the victory. Quarterback wins, this, that, and other. When the team loses, Embiid is our MVP, averaging 29 point something a game. Our MVP caliber player, 29 point something points a game and like double-digit rebounds. This game, he only had 14 points, 9 rebounds. So and shot 5 for 16. So to me, it's nobody else that it falls on first other than Embiid.
Did that dip him out of the MVP conversation right now?
Might have. I already told you, for me, in order for him to get an MVP race, the only thing he could do is when they come to play the Nets, he has to ball out and we beat the Nets. And then it might be like, oh, well, But other than that,
Oklahoma, we should be Oklahoma though tomorrow. They're not that good of a team.
Doc said he was going to play Joel tomorrow, but he took a awkward fall, and he was clutching his knee. So his status is.
So when did he do that? When did he do that?
He did that on a
game.
Huh?
That was late in the game, wasn't it?
Right. So that wasn't why he stunk it up. He okay. Let's just make sure we clarify that. And Embiid is my dude. Listen, I've been Embiid. I've been all about Embiid since he's been in the league. So let's just call it for what it is. Night Embiid. We counted on Embiid is supposed to be our anchor. We lost by 7, and he scored only 14 points when he averages 29.
I gotta say though, see, this is why it's a little irritating when you watch these other players that revolutionize the game. These numbers, like Ben was supposed to be, and you watch a number 1 pick.
Let it go.
This guy's nothing like him in the next 10 years on Ben Simmons, and this what you get. But then Zion Williamson is living up to all the hype.
Yeah,
it's disheartening, man. It's really disheartening. You see Ben throwing the ball at the rim constantly. That's so disheartening.
I mean, we say that, but Embiid as a number 3 pick, you think Embiid lived up to the hype? I mean, not tonight, notwithstanding, but
Embiid didn't have hype to live up to.
Why didn't he?
Yes, he did.
He was hurt. No, he didn't. He was hurt coming in.
No, listen, they expected Embiid to be the number 1 pick until he got hurt.
Until he got hurt, he was projected to go number 1.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't.
He was a consensus number 1.
Him and Wiggins played on the same team. It was wins on college. It was winless for Wiggins.
Yeah, that's what the season started out as. But as the season progressed in the college game, everybody was putting Embiid as that number 1 pick until he got hurt.
He did say there was a chance that B would go number 1 if he didn't get hurt.
I mean, Minnesota was going to draft him. It was without a question. He was going to Minnesota. They pivoted once he got injured. And then they saw the significance of the injury.
Minnesota didn't have the number 1 pick.
Who did then?
Cleveland.
Oh yeah, Cleveland. But they traded it. They traded him. That's right. You're right. But listen, Ben Simmons. I'm gonna have to agree with y'all about. I already said that he was the. I was just joking, but he was the number 1 reason why. Probably the number 2 reason why we lost. But did y'all know in his last 8 games he has 28 turnovers and 27 baskets?
See, but I told y'all
he got more turnovers than baskets.
I told y'all this. I told y'all this. Ben Simmons has been getting figured out how he plays. But Bulls know what he's trying to do. That jumping up, passing, going to the lane, kick back, passing. All you got to do, honestly, as a defense, if you get somebody in Ben Simmons' way, all he going to do is actually turn his back completely to the basket and pass the ball out to the 3 line. If you're prepared to do that, you're going to get a lot of steals on them.
But what I'm trying to understand is, Tim, what do those 2 stats have to do with each other? Like shot attempts versus turnover, because you said 8 games.
No, not shot attempts, actual scored baskets.
No, but he said shot attempts versus what you said.
No, shot attempts. 27. He made 27 baskets in his last 8 games. He has more turnovers than he has made.
But I don't think those 2 stats have anything to do with each other, though.
You should always have like a 3-1.
What do they have to do with each other?
We just made it. We just made it work. We just
made it work. Okay. No. Listen, now I'm not saying Ben Simmons has been balling by any stretch, but I'm just saying when you talking about.
But let me ask you something.
Assisted turnover.
But wait, does that sound good?
No,
okay. So then, why are you trying to make it?
Because you're doing that. You're doing that dumb ESPN stuff where you just making stats up. They don't match.
You know that's not a good look.
The stats don't match.
All right, Wayne. For every basket, imagine this: for every basket you shoot, you throw the ball out of bounds.
Okay, but if you're not shooting,
you throw the ball out of bounds.
He's not just throwing it out.
That's not a winning. That's not a winning formula.
But he's not a shooter. He's not a scorer. That's why they do assist to turnovers. They don't do shot attempts to turnovers.
But it's still a bad stat. If you make a basket, for every basket you make, so when you get the next possession, you throwing it out of bounds. That's not a good look.
But it's a reason. I get what you're saying, but this is why they say assist to turnover. Those 2 correlate. Shot attempts and turnovers don't correlate to each other.
I think they do it a little bit because an assist means that you got baskets scored. So Tim is just saying if you scoring your baskets that you're scoring, if you're nullifying with a turnover, to me it's almost the same thing. I know they say assist to turnover, but assist means you got just team 2 points. If you scored, you got your team 2 points. So if you scoring less and your turnover rather more than you scoring, you still defeating the purpose of what you there to do.
But then if that's the case, then you add assist in with that too.
Okay,
because assists is that's why that's the only reason I have no problem with what you're saying about him with the shot attempts. I agree. I agree with the shot attempts thing. I'm just saying those two stats. To me, that's just like throwing two random stats together that don't really don't correlate.
We throw random stats out all the time.
But I'm just saying that don't correlate. That's just you reading some stats and just trying to throw some stats.
And then what it is, it's bad. If you if you have 28,
I'm sure because it's ripping Ben. I'm not. Ben has been hard.
I'm not a Ben hater either. So you barking up the wrong tree. What I'm saying is, it don't look good if you got as many baskets as turnovers in the last 8 games. That don't look good.
So how many assists? It
don't matter. That's not the stat I threw up.
See, that's right. Because that's all.
Go ahead, Ethan. Go ahead. Zach LaVine, Bradley Beal should have got him.
They wasn't giving up Zach LaVine.
Zach LaVine just scored 50 tonight.
He did.
No, for real.
Yeah,
they wasn't giving up Zach LaVine. Go ahead. What you say?
With all this correlate.
Wait, hold on. Somebody on here said they wouldn't want Zach LaVine. I think it was Wayne.
Who said who went one?
Wayne said he went trade Zach LaVine.
Straight up.
Nope.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
Yes, I thought I said the only two people that I would consider trading for was Beal and Zach LaVine.
Nope. You said you
okay, I'm gonna go back and listen. You tell me what podcast I said that.
You said at first you did say you Zach, and then later on to a later trade deadline, you said you wouldn't even do it for Zach LaVine.
After we played him too. After we played Zach.
Sure when Zach stunk. So now we hyping Zach off for one game, but when he stunk against the Sixers,
I'm hyping Zach off a whole career. He's better than Ben Simmons. He's better than Ben. I would rather have Zach than Ben Simmons. Zach will give us a chance to win the championship.
So then who's your point guard if you trade Ben Simmons?
George Hill.
George Hill.
Where is he at?
He'll be back.
He'll be back. He said he'll be back before the playoffs.
Listen, we'll hold it down until you get there.
Okay. And so we gonna ball out until with no point guard at all. Because right now, as bad as Ben Simmons is, he's the best option we got at point guard right now.
He still got 6 turnovers.
He might not be.
You want to get 6 turnovers?
Who's our best option at point guard?
I don't know.
Shake.
Yes.
Maybe Maxey.
Tobias Harris.
Maxey ain't. You told me Maxey wasn't a point guard. He's a shooter.
Tobias.
Yeah, exactly. Y'all just throwing names out. We don't have a point guard.
Ben ain't a point guard either.
Ben ain't a point guard either.
I just said he's our best option. I would prefer another point guard.
See, that's my whole thing, right? Guard. Why can't he play? Zion's not technically listed as a point guard, but he plays the position. You know, he brings the ball up and he distributes like he was tonight.
I'm telling you, Ethan said this before and I agree. Ben's not a not even say a facilitator. He's not an orchestrator of the offense. He doesn't command and conduct. A point guard is very much like a conductor of a symphony.
I agree.
Ben does not do. I see Draymond, and I know, I talk about Draymond and all that. I still would take Ben over Draymond at this point in Draymond's career. However, Draymond does conduct the offense when he runs that point forward better. He's telling people where to go. You come here. Ben does none of that.
I agree.
And that, I think, to me is one of the huge problems. So honestly, I mean, what blame are we putting on Doc in this position? Like, are you teaching him how to conduct the offense? Are you empowering him to conduct the offense? Yo, listen, you need to be telling B when to go to here, Seth when you need to be here. Like, Ben is just there, just distributing the ball. He's just passing it to the open man, but he's not conducting the offense, and that's a problem.
He is running the offense. He's running their offense. They have a set offense that's ran by Doc.
Let me ask you this: when do you see Ben tell somebody where to be at? Do you see that often? I hardly ever don't see. Be honest with you.
Because you can hear him.
Are they where they supposed to be? I don't know.
No, but I'm saying I agree with Ephraim. Like, you don't, like, you'll see a point guard come down and they like floor general. Ben is not a floor general.
Yes.
I tell you this, Ben is not playing well at the worst time. He needs to get his game together before we start heading to these playoffs. And this scares me of what we're going to see from Ben come the playoffs.
I'm more concerned Tobias Harris hasn't played well the last couple of games, and I don't know if is he reverting to playoff T.
I mean, yeah, Tobias was solid tonight. I mean, against Boston, he wasn't.
But that's the wrong guys.
Listen, this is all I'm saying, right? With everything that we're talking about, who underperformed the most tonight? From what we expect, Bede underperformed the
And
most.
Seth, you can't leave Seth out.
A close.
I mean, Seth, we kind of
expected.
Seth scored no points.
We haven't really been expecting.
No. We expect. No. Remember, my goal for Seth was to get 13 to 15 a night. Yeah. This is well below. So if you say B scored well below his average, they both scored 13 to 15 points below what we expected. We at least
no. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but when you're putting Embiid as MVP candidate and unstoppable force and everything else, and for him to put up the numbers that he put up tonight, that's inexcusable. I agree with everybody else. Like I said, I agree with Ephraim's number of where the position that the blame comes in, and Ben is up there as number 3. And Seth is number 2 because 0 for 7. If you're a starting 2 guard, 0 for 7, especially if you don't play defense, it's inexcusable for you to be 0 for on offense.
Listen, another thing, Ben Simmons, though, I hate to go back to him, but he has to take 6 shots.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
No, but seriously, if you playing 34 minutes, he really has to take more than 6 shots. He's taking shots in the Danny Green and Seth Curry and Korkmaz's range.
But
he got to take more than 6
But
shots.
if he came out and he shot more shots and he shot like 20%, you'd be like, he's trash. Why he keep shooting them bricks?
No, he attacked.
If he went to the line 8 times, that means he took 4 shots. That they don't count the shots that you
6 shots unexcusable.
That's true. I mean, my thing with, and we talked about this with Ben, though, Ethan. Ben, I told you what he does. When Ben goes, if Ben has a lane, he's gonna go to the hole. He's gonna dunk it or he's gonna get the layup. As soon as somebody impedes his access,
he spins and do a pirouette.
Yes,
to pass the ball.
Thank you. That's what he do. So it's like he actually, in a sense, is kind of looking to score a little bit, but he's looking for the easy basket.
Yeah. Let me ask y'all,
easy basket, then he gonna go and try to pass it. Or he gonna throw the pump fake. And if they don't jump, if they don't go for it, then he's going to look around and he's going to pass it out.
Let me ask y'all, have y'all ever seen Ben Simmons do a Euro step?
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen him do a Euro step.
Yeah, it's few far.
He did one tonight when he was driving in the guy and he pushed the guy off. You only think that was a Euro step?
He did a Euro step?
Yes.
That was a foul step. Like he contacted.
No, but he does that. No, Ben does Euro steps. Like he does. I mean, listen, he does.
Maybe walks though.
He don't walk. Well, he does Euro steps, but I mean, the whole problem is him finishing at the basket. He just has no touch with shooting, whether it's close or from afar. Like he just has no touch.
All right, before we get out of here, I do gotta say,
Jenna girl left him. He ain't had no touch.
Before we roll, I do gotta say one thing about Dwight Howard. I think he is struggling too the last few games. We haven't seen that same energy. And
we see the dumb stuff. He had 4 fouls tonight. He plays dumb.
I'm glad you brought that up. That flagrant was absolute garbage, though. This NBA has gotten so out of control with this thing. I'm beyond myself with frustrated with watching every little ticky-tack call. The Bull Zion jumped up. Dwight Howard pretty much kind of just protected himself and tried to go for the block at the same time. And he just caught him Zion at an awkward angle, and Zion ain't had no legs up underneath him, and he went flying. And all of a sudden, they want to go to the monitors. Oh, we excessive. It was excessive. I'm like, yo, stop this.
But you see how Zion was acting. He started rolling around, doing a little tantrum and everything.
This is what everybody do, though.
No, but in Zion's defense,
it was extra.
No, he fell flat on his body. Like he didn't. It was no leg bracing at all. So he a big boy. So it probably did for a minute, kind of stunning. No, he muscular dude.
He bounced right on up. He was fine.
I mean, he was cool, but for a minute, you got to assess, am I really hurt or not? The way he fell, you kind of got to assess that.
And then he stopped and gave us 20 more points after that.
Yeah, he did.
All right, I just seen some highlights of Ben Eurostep. He Eurostepped a couple times.
He said
it's so few and far in between. You think
it's like 1 out of every 20 games or something.
But like when he does it, it's like he tries to do it with a
dunk.
Other people do when other people do Eurostep, it's kind of like a finesse to it. Ben does it with trying to push people out the way and
that is
like
true.
that.
That's very true.
Yeah.
All right, we're about to roll out this piece. We'll be back tomorrow when we play OKC in OKC. Any final
what y'all
thoughts?
got? Y'all got to win? Y'all got to win tomorrow?
It better be.
I mean, I don't see Embiid playing, so this is a toss-up game. We got
OKC and take.
Wait a minute, hold on. Before we go, Embiid's not playing tomorrow. How many points for Ben Simmons weighing in Tim?
I have no idea. I don't even look at Ben Simmons.
I can't right now. Ben has disappointed me so much. Whatever he give me is what I get. That's it. I tell you one thing. As far as Seth Curry, next year we're going to have to upgrade the shooting guard position because he ain't that boy.
George Hill needs to start in that spot. I don't care what you say, Tim. You talk about that. George Hill needs to start in that spot when he come in.
Steph Curry got 20 points in 22 minutes. I mean, 22 points in 20 minutes, just to let you know.
I don't think nobody asked you that.
No, not really. All right. Rest in peace, DMX.
X.
Yeah.
Yo, we're eating long enough now. Stop being greedy.
What?
It's when you live a hard life.
Long enough.
That's sometimes the result. Though he lived too hard, man. I know he talked about his demons and how he got in contact with the drugs and all that kind of stuff like that. But when you live a hard life, man, it don't last long.
Yeah. So, well, rest in peace, X-Man. We out.
Later.